and we'll create some properties for this div. We're making it a different color, and we'll also make it a different size, so then that way we can clearly see a distinction between our original div and this new nested div. Okay, we'll keep the position as relative to see how a relative positioned div behaves inside of another div that it also has the same position declaration. So we'll go ahead and insert our nested div in our body. We'll reference ID selector div2. And we'll just save our file. And this is what the new document looks like. We can see that our nested div is situated within our parent, our container div. Now we want to move the nested div 80 pixels from the top and left relative to the parent div. In order to do this, all we need to do is add the top and left declarations to our style rule. Now when we save our file and refresh, we can see that the nested div has moved 80 pixels from the top and 80 pixels from the left relative not to the web browser's content area, but to its parent div. So keep that in mind. Another position property is absolute positioning. Absolute positioning will ensure the element stays in the exact same position specified in the style rule. It does not consider the flow of the page when you resize the browser window. Let's take a look at an example to illustrate this concept. Say we added a block of text above our div tags. I'm just copying a block of text and I'm going to add it above the div tags here. Now I'm going to save the file and we're going to preview this page in the web browser. Take a look at what happens when we scale the browser, when we resize it to bigger and smaller. You'll see that the div is moving up and down to accommodate the text as the browser shrinks and expands. With relative positioning, the div moves with the flow of the page. Now let's change the position of our parent div to absolute. Remember that div1 is our parent, and we'll change the position to absolute. Now when we save the page and refresh it, you'll see that the div remains in the exact same position as specified in our style declaration. This is regardless of what we do. So if we resize the browser now, the parent div will stay in the exact same position we specified. Notice that the nested div, div2, is still relative to its parent div.